doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Yep, we're here. I'm lowering the music as we speak. There we go. What's up, Glenn?
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. So yeah. Are we gonna start with good news today?
There is some?
Yeah, we missed last week when Jeremy Hammond was out, so we didn't talk about it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Jeremy Hammond is out of prison and in a halfway house right now. And there were some lovely pictures of him and his brother and their friends on the internets.
The man served his sentence. Once he is released from the halfway house, he's a free man.
Yep.
No parole order, no anything.
You know how long he has there, or we're not sure yet?
No, I haven't heard anything. It's not going to be all that long. Of course, depending on exactly where he is and how many people are in that facility, COVID is an issue here. So, I mean, I have heard of some people after getting out of a federal bit that basically do a week and then they're on their way. Well, I don't think anybody's going to be getting a week with the way shit is right now. You're probably going to have to sit in your fucking room for 2 weeks before anything happens.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to being in prison all the time he's been in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, COVID sucks. Oh, speaking of COVID is a hoax, Donald Trump Jr. caught that hoax.
Yeah. I
He
think
missed a
he's
lot
in
last week.
rehab. I think he's in rehab.
For all the cocaine he was doing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he was getting off the rails.
Literally.
Yeah, him and Gavin Newsom's ex-woman. Oh, man. So, yeah, today I guess we're going to talk a little bit about these wacky Trump supporters that everybody says we're supposed to reach out to and be nice to and try to understand. And those people who say that, they can go fuck themselves. These people are crazy and they're racist. So why would you ever want to do anything with them? Just exclude them. I've always excluded them. I don't want to hang out with racists. For what?
Well, again, it's the standard line, You got 10 people sitting at a table and a Nazi sits down. Now you got 11 Nazis at a table. It's the same goddamn thing.
Yep. Oh my God. So yeah, I guess that's the new thing. And Biden is, he's gonna be bad, man. Everyone's so happy. I said a long time ago, whoever comes after Trump will be able to get away with anything.
Oh yeah.
So Biden/Harris, if Biden doesn't survive his 4 to 8 year run, than Harris, they can get away with just about anything.
I think there's been some pretty detailed work done by some American journalists that I do respect. People like Kevin Gostala. And he's been taking a good look at who Biden is putting in, especially with the security apparatus. And there ain't anybody yet that's been named to anything that matters that hasn't been on this same cyber death march for at least a decade. Everybody either worked in the Clinton White House, to working for Secretary of State Clinton, to working in the Obama White House, to working for Biden's personal staff when he was vice president. The people that are being suggested, maybe they're announced now, I'm not staying that current on it, but the people that are going to be in charge of the CIA, Gina Haspel's probably going to stay there. Because, there's nothing like a white female fascist to push the 21st century. And apparently the United States is in for its first woman DNI. And she's also another Haspel. She's been involved with hiding stuff, destroying evidence, torture programs. So, yeah, it's, yeah, the U.S. is back, all right.
It was never gone.
Well, I know, but I mean, yeah, it's back. We got 4 years of fucking with people we got to make up for the way we want to make up for it.
Some MAGA person said Trump was going to punish Biden, or not a MAGA person, a Democrat said Trump was going to punish Biden by starting a war. And I'm sitting here thinking, how is that punishment? The dude loves war. Then he can just be like, oh yeah, Trump started the war. Now we're over there. I guess I'm going to have to send troops and fund it.
Well, first I'll have to, go on a world tour and drum up a bunch of other of our sycophant buddies, send their people over to this new war too,
What do they
more
call
the merrier.
it? It's called a coalition of the willing.
Coalition of the indebtors.
Of the indebted. Oh, man.
But, now he's getting the exact same information that Trump's getting. They may work on a plan together for this war. Let Donnie take the credit, whatever. Sure. It's your going away gift.
We'll call it Trump's war and have gold something on it. Don't worry. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's this whole thing. I don't know why these people are so excited. I just can't figure it out. Like, I understand being happy Trump's gone, but look what's coming.
Yeah, I know, but it's not Trump. And that's how pitiful this entire fucking game of power has become. It is the lesser of two evils.
I don't understand how this whole country isn't on fire right now. I really don't have I can't figure it out. Why aren't people all pissed off like Trump or Biden? What kind of, you know what I mean? Anyway, what do you think Trump's doing? You think he's going to just leave because it's sounding more and more like he's conceding without conceding? Or without saying the word, I concede, or concession, or whatever words he may use?
Well, I mean, the last show we did, I said already that, I was seeing signs already that he hasn't got it. He ain't got no jam left. He's done. And with not only the expected defeat of every lawsuit he's tried, some of the rulings some of the language from some of these judges about what a complete joke these lawsuits are. I think it's been Trump's MO his entire sordid adult life that he's always depended on his legal teams to basically let him fuck somebody over again another day. But that ain't working here. This is the biggest gamble out of all the shit he's done. There's the most at stake on this one, and he's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. And I think if the donations dry up, then that's it.
I don't think that's going to ever happen. I think if he isn't president, he's going to find a way to have these MAGA people sending him money somehow.
Well, that could also be like we were talking about that, I think there's going to be something's going to replace Fox. Fox is a brand that has been used, and now it's going to be tainted. It's too connected to the last 4 years. And, I think Newsmax is going to be the new Fox.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that too. Because OANN is just too batshit crazy.
Well, OAN got taken down off YouTube today.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
So again, how convenient. Well, hell, I'm going to start watching Newsmax.
And the name makes it sound legit, kind of, too.
Yep. Max.
News. Max.
Fake
Kind of like
Max.
Cinemax.
So, who knows? It's Trump. The guy's done nothing but lie and cheat and steal for 40 years in the public eye. So this is just, this is harder to come back from than, say, putting yourself out of the casino business in Atlantic City. This is even worse than that. So, but, all it takes is some bank somewhere to give them money again. And,
Yeah. There's all kinds of crazy stuff with these people. A lot of people think it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and homegirl Conan Barrett, whatever her name is, she's not going to recluse herself, and I don't think that's possible anymore.
No, neither do I.
I think it's gone too far past that. Anything's possible, I guess, but I don't see that. I was a little worried about him firing people in the military. And I heard a little report earlier this week, or last week, maybe the end of last week, that was saying that there's a group of military people and, law enforcement and military people that are like Trump's little army. And people are worried about that because they're like super supporters. They're cult members of the MAGA cult. But I don't know if that would even be enough if he doesn't have the leaders to tell him to do stuff.
Yeah.
A bunch of rogue actors isn't going to really do anything. But yeah, Trump is just, the circus is probably going to end soon. And the Trump circus will probably continue. He'll probably have his Klan rallies and stuff, and he'll probably show up as a speaker at a bunch of events and things. But I don't think it's not going to be like, what's the media going to do?
Well, I think it depends on like with everything Trump, you can't plan more than, say, a week ahead because you never know what's going to happen. So I think that's basically the way everybody's still operating. They're starting to get an indication, reality will settle in at some point, hopefully. There are still people out there that insist that on January 22nd, the military is going to have to haul them out. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's the thing about Trump. You have people willing to say out loud on the entire spectrum of possibilities, from either going in and removing him by force to it's going to be a complete whimper. He's going to be long gone from DC when Biden is getting sworn in, and he's just going to disappear like a pussy. So, I mean, if people are willing to say the entire spectrum, then anything truly is possible. And I think that's the biggest part of Trump's fucking brand. You never know what he's going to do. Well, that's a big part of his appeal, and it always has been. So,
Yeah, I know, and he keeps them constantly on their toes, like I said, batshit crazy stuff nonstop. The media always has something every day, and I think it's designed like that because he just loves the media. He calls them all this and that and fake news, but he depends on them.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Then there's the other side of this that we were talking about. The QAnons, who basically every prophecy or whatever since day one has failed. Like, what are they going to do when they finally realize the court cases are all done? Trump lost. How are they going to cope with life after that? I hope they don't, but unfortunately, probably a bunch of them will, and they'll join some other cult. Like, the Tea Party became MAGA. MAGA will become something else. A group of racist inbreds.
Well, I mean, I think it was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday that apparently the person who is behind Q was doxxed. And someone by the name of Priscilla Dumont, who does work in the military-industrial complex. But I think Q is going to come down brick by brick. I mean, there will forever, just like there's still flat earthers, there will forever be some Q-tards out there. But like everything else, the rest of the crazies are going to find something newer and shinier.
So take pictures of these goons with their hats and their cars and all that, with their little stickers with the Qs and their wabbits. Rabbits, I said wabbits, haha. Take pictures so you can shame them forever. Don't let them stop, post it all over online. These people got to be outed. They can't go back into society like this never happened.
I mean, it's a sign of the times. Things get more ridiculous and more not the way they were ever supposed to be to a lot of people. And then, desperate people will believe desperate things. And the peer mentality is overwhelming for populism and stuff like that, So, but I mean, I think we talked about this in the last show. There were reports of Q-tards committing suicide, doing all kinds of things because, apparently they buy this shit. They think that
if Jesus is going to conquer the Democrats and the demons and the child-eating demon semen, whatever they are, then you might as well just kill yourself because then it's over. Trump lost. How can they how can they show their face again? It's ridiculous, man. It's like these Nostradamus people. People still swear this dude, he got something. What did he get right? He said a whole bunch of bullshit. It's exactly what the Q crap is. It's a whole bunch of bullshit.
But I think that's an interesting comparison because over the last even 300 years, people have been interpreting Nostradamus to fit their current situation and insisting that they were right. And it's the exact same thing with this Q bullshit, with this Trump is some kind of fucking messiah. It's the same damn thing. It's people just pulling shit out of their ass from centuries ago and saying, see, look, this is what it means. Like, this is an old game, but an oldie but a goodie, apparently. It always seems to work somewhere. I mean, there are variations of it around the world at all times. Erdogan is playing a variation on this in Turkey to make himself out to be, Ataturk. He is Turkey, if you ask him and his PR staff. So, yeah. I mean, this shit is always being sold somewhere. I mean, you don't even have to talk about some of the more famous dictators. I mean, of course, it's a cult of personality, but it's an option. It's a fringe benefit when there's a personality to tie it to, because the idea itself can live quite fine on its own. It's even harder to kill forever because the person can die. Look at North Korea. They're on their third Kim. The only way they can keep the cult going is to keep it in the family.
Yeah, I mean, I see people that you'd think normally have sense talking crap about the masks and the distancing and things being closed a lot. And it's like, they're almost to the point where it's some conspiracy and it's a hoax and the Democrats are doing this for control and blah, blah, blah. Or even someone will say the government's doing it for control. And I'm like, man, what's going to happen when less people catch the flu and cold this year? People are more healthy. Less people die of everything. You know what I mean? Because they're staying apart. They're using sanitizer. They're wearing masks. And they're not going to crowded places. I always get the flu from some motherfucker that's just out or forced to work with it as a cashier. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you're like, oh my gosh, all these people had a flu. Handing me money all week or doing this and that. And now you got a mask and sanitizer everywhere and things are getting wiped down. I feel a little bit more confident just in general. Plus, I like the mask because cameras don't pick you up everywhere like that. Everyone has to see your face everywhere you go.
Yep.
And they say that's less free. I think some of these people think total freedom is being locked in a concentration camp with cameras over you while your dictator tries to... I don't understand what they think freedom is. I mean... I'm just thinking about the logic behind it. Like, you don't even have to wear a mask, dude. Most places, I've seen people not have a mask or not be wearing one. They'll either give them one or if they're a jerk. I've even seen it online. They'll be like, well, make your order and we'll come and bring it to you at the door. No.
Yeah.
You're getting delivery service. They're going to go pick up all your groceries for you in the store and bring them to the front for you. You don't have to do anything. Think how simple that is. If you just want to be a total jerk. I mean, there's people that have personal shoppers that do this for them. Those people are what? Rich. So you can live like a rich person if you don't want to wear a mask right now. But, I mean, even in today's society, you can have anything delivered. I just don't, there's no, you're not free. You can get whatever the hell you want. Nobody's stopping you from doing anything. We're stopping you from getting other people sick, assholes. Or potentially. I just don't get these people, and I see it all the time, dude. Cats you wouldn't think be thinking this stuff. It's a hoax, it's this and that, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know who's pushing all this stuff so hard and why. But then I see these videos with these crazy conspiracy theorist stuff, and I don't know how they get to that. I think it's pushed on certain platforms. Probably most likely Facebook for sure. And YouTube, I see stuff like that once in a while. And if you're me, you're looking to debunk it. But if you're them, maybe you're like, oh, they got some good points. It's the same way PragerU, we talked about it before, how it draws people in. Like, do you hate racism? Do you hate this and that? And then it gives you this whole racist, sexist thing or whatever. It's like, know.
Bait and switch.
Yeah. But by the time the switch comes, they already baited. And they're like, let me hear this. And then they're just getting fed the crap because they agreed with the first few points. First few skewed points,
Yeah, the hooks. The hooks got them. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what it is, I mean, you can look at studies from sociologists or psychologists, and then you can look at studies from psychiatrists. So you start looking at what the brain is actually doing. As far as electrical and activity and stuff like that is compared to how people behave. And, there's a general agreement that people who don't have a lot of formal education and don't have a lot of life experience tend to agree to this type of bullshit a lot easier than, people who do get a higher education and are fortunate enough to not live in poverty, etc., etc. But I guess if you want to look at it from a business point of view, considering that the income gap gets wider all the time, and the part that keeps rising is smaller all the time, then I guess if you want to play to a bigger market, you're going to sell stuff that poor, stupid people like. That's a lot bigger market. So, but I mean, this is it. It just becomes all part of the same ecosystem. The bullshit feeds the revenue. The revenue gets more bullshit. It just keeps going.
But it all starts with the same crap, dude. Not all of them, but a lot of these conspiracy theories. It starts with the secret group of people, whether they want to call them deep state, Illuminati, or whatever the hell they're calling them today. There's this small group of people that has a plan. And then they kick this plan into effect by using millions and millions of people that will do whatever they want, or they pay, or however they do it. Millions, man. Like every doctor, not every doctor. There's a couple on Fox and OAN and whatever. But I mean, most doctors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most doctors, most nurses, most government officials around the world, and this is just such a huge conspiracy. Everybody's in on it.
Except
it's crazy.
you.
Yeah, except me. I'm the only one who doesn't know, evidently. It didn't get to me. It's just insane, man. They just believe this stuff. Like, oh, China is doing this, and they built it in this laboratory. And they say, I've heard every variation of this crap, man. From Trump made it in the laboratory to Biden was gonna spread it out to all the people. That's why someone actually said this. That's why the vaccine was, or I think they even said the cure was released a day after the election, so Trump wouldn't look good. I'm like, there was no cure released. There wasn't even a vaccine released. Yes, there was. They just didn't. I'm like, come on, dude. The people just don't have any evidence. They just shout out whatever they think they heard somewhere, or read somewhere on a meme on Facebook, or saw a video about. I mean, I could make a video saying anything happened, and then just tie up some random evidence, like, if you put this number with this and take all the letters of this person's name and add them with this, and then we all know that this number means this, and how could got you all? That's basically what they do.
Yeah.
Just crazy. It's like there's some meme of one of those dudes from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with a board with strings and wires. You know what I mean? There's really people out there doing that. It's sick. It's weird. And I don't even know how. I mean, these are normal people, some of them, but they got these crazy conspiracy theories, and they don't think it's like even odd to bring it up. And other people be like, "Yeah, I know," and I'm like, "Whoa, really? Nobody's gonna just say you're batshit crazy for saying that."
Yeah, but don't forget, this is also a so-called modern society that has groups like the Scientologists, and I mean, there's all kind of whack shit that a lot of people buy. It just seems that
Yep.
this is the newest, loudest version of something that's batshit crazy, and it's right at the front lines too. It ain't hiding. That's the other thing. Usually, when there's some sort of cultish belief system, they're not jumping up and down in front of cameras all the time. These guys are. That's what's different too.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just got to do with the times we're in, Everybody wants their fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the thing that freaks me out is you get every kind of possible bad result. You get the people committing suicide. You get the people who are just generally trying to instigate violence. And then you get the odd ones that actually commit violence. There are some Q-tards who have committed murder since the election. And, I don't know what you do with people like this. I mean, to believe in a crackpot theory and school of thought so hard, and then when you find out that it's all bullshit, you get mad and kill somebody?
Yeah. Some of these people are nuts.
Yeah. Like it's more than QAnon in this case.
Well, I mean, QAnon has a lot of weird groups within it. They got straight up Nazis all the way down to the incels to the, I mean, these are just violent people already. And then they think they have a reason to go and do what they do. It's no different than ISIS, man. It's no different than any terrorist group. And I'm the terrorist because I'm an anti-fascist. Once again, just for the cheap seats. How many? Just count the deaths of the far right Nazi scum, and then count how many people they've killed, and then count the body bags of how many people anti-fascists have killed, or Black Lives Matter, or any group you want to try to demonize. I think you'll see who the terrorists are.
Yep.
Really, really quickly. By dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens more body bags. I mean, a couple Nazis got domed now, but don't come over there being violent with guns and you probably wouldn't get domed. Don't be attacking people. See? If you hear Olive's agreeing with me out there. Or it could be the mailman, I don't know. But yeah, it's really crazy, man. You wouldn't think some of these people believe. I mean, I told you about this other homie just came with the crazy stuff after a couple months in quarantine or whatever, or during the lockdowns. He comes out with all these crazy conspiracy theories I never heard him talking about before.
Too much free time to surf the net, eh?
Evidently.
Well, the other thing that you're right. I mean, there's a million of these little splinter groups within the QAnon umbrella. And that's another thing that's pretty wild, how people with these just obsessions that some of these groups have about specific things, whether it's a law or a legal process or some county board told them they couldn't build a fucking fence or something, you know. These people have these obsessions about one item, and somehow they manage to tie it in to this whole QAnon conspiracy model. So it's not just that you didn't have the right surveying done for your yard and you didn't get your fence. It's because that woman who's on that council buys pizza from some place where they sell kids in a sex ring, and, you know, and around it goes. That's why. Not because you fucked up surveying your yard, but that's why. And that's the thing that blows my mind, that all these different people can tie people they have a problem with back into QAnon. And it's like, oh yeah, it's right there.
I've seen these videos, some of them, man, and it's really bothersome. It's like these people, some of them go through the internet and pull like these really explicit, borderline explicit, I guess would be the right way to say it, pictures of children. Some are with famous people. I mean, they're not immune from being terrible. And some are, you know, with other things. I don't know all the famous people. So maybe they're with famous people. Maybe they're with other people. They're like politicians or whatever. And they just play these pictures back to back to back. And then talk about, some of them don't even talk. They just play music and stuff and have little words here or there. And it's like, why would you take all these pictures and put them up like that? And, you know, I mean, like one of these head QAnon Save the Children dudes already was a pedophile. Like I think they gravitate toward that stuff because they think they could hide amongst these people, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Because they don't care. I mean, these are the same people trying to vote for Roy Moore. These are the same people that support Trump,
yeah,
who at the very best was walking in on naked children and talking about their bodies and telling people how great they looked and who he wanted to date in the future and all that. At the very worst is a child rapist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is their hero. So they don't really believe what they say. They just hate one group of people.
Yeah, and look for justification in that.
So they demonize them all by saying they're baby-eating pedophile demon worshippers or whatever it is. And that's really weird. I mean, a lot of these people were on with Epstein too, just like a lot of their people were. I mean, Dershowitz is Trump's lawyer. Trump was on, you know, at least there's video after video of Trump with the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just choose what they think and go with it because they don't really care about stopping child sex trafficking because it's happening all over and it's not famous people. I mean, it might be famous people, but they're not the main. You know what I mean? It's all over. It's everywhere. If you're in a city, it's happening there probably. Why don't you try to look into that instead of these big devil worshipping cabal, Democrat, whatever it is. If it's going on around you and you can prove it, then do it. But just saying that stuff because you don't like a group of people, I hate the Democrats too. And some Democrats are definitely pedophiles. Some Democrats are murderers. Some Democrats just like Republicans. They're horrible people. But I'm not going to go and say, oh, every Republican rapes babies. It's just weird. It's just creepy and weird that you'd even think to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, nothing is off limits anymore, even if it should be, you know? I mean, that's just it. There was a time when people would say, well, that's below the belt, that's off limits. And it wasn't so much to give respect to the person being attacked. It was, you don't want to go that low. Well, there's absolutely no problem with that anymore. You know, nobody gives a shit how low they go anymore, as long as they, you know, own the libs.
Yep, that's what it's all about.
Unreal.
Which is weird, man. Because, you know, now they're acting like the snowflake cucks that they kept complaining about everybody else as being.
I got to mute.
All right. So yeah, now I have to talk to the audience by myself. Hello, audience. No, Glenn had to take a call. He said this might happen. So yeah, QAnon is just a weird, bad thing. We need to move on from that in a minute. I'm kind of at a loss as to what to say now. So yeah, here's the thing. I don't know what these people are gonna do. I don't have any clue what these people are gonna do. It's like their whole world came crumbling down with one election, and it was set up to fail. Because if everything's, I mean, I think that they had these predictions that Clinton was gonna be locked up, Hillary Clinton was gonna be locked up, and JFK Jr. was gonna show back up as like the second coming thing and start to do something big. And it's a really insane, crazy conspiracy theory thing. And I would say probably don't look into it, because I don't know why. I mean, I've looked into it, but I mean, I don't know why these people seem to be, they get caught up in it and they're like, oh, this is real. And I guess it's like Glenn said earlier, it's the same thing like Scientology. Sorry. You see how this show sucks without Glenn, y'all? So yeah, that's why we need Glenn on the show as much as possible. But no, it's this whole weird thing, and I don't know how people believe it. I can't comprehend why. I wish somebody would explain it to me. I mean, I've gotten into arguments with these people, not QAnons, just people that believe similar weird conspiracy theory kind of things, like the Illuminati or the deep state, and these whole like little smoke-filled room filled with 5 people that run the whole world. How is that even possible? Like we've said before on this show, there's a lot of people that run things, like billionaires. They pay off politicians. They make things happen. And yeah, they can alter the course of how things are going. And they might do things in secret, and they might commiserate to do things together, but it's not like these crazy people say. It's not just this group of people that are just, this group of evil old. I mean, there are groups of evil old white men, but it's just think about conspiracies like this. The more people it takes, the more people have to be involved to make it happen. Somebody's going to talk. It's not going to, a good conspiracy runs with a small group of people. Having to have millions of people doing your bidding, or hundreds of thousands all over the planet, that's pretty unlikely that that's going to be anything legit, So
I'm back.
Thank God. I'm rambling. These people are probably all gone. I think the Pope even left today.
No, I was listening to what you were saying there, and you're right. And the thing is, especially in this day and age, not only when you make the circle bigger, you risk more leaks, but in this day and age, everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to spill the beans. Everybody wants to be interviewed. So it's even harder to run a legitimate covert program these days, And I mean, what you were talking about, you can go back to, here's a good old one, the Elders of Zion. There's the ultimate dark room controlling the world story. So, and it's the same shit. It just keeps getting altered, changed, updated to fit whatever the conspiracy snake oil of the day is, right?
Yeah, I see that a lot too, really anti-Semitic stuff on the internet about how Jewish people run the whole world, and they're doing this and they're doing that and they're doing this and that. I mean, if you're in Palestine and your world is over there and there's a group of Israeli people, persecuting you every day, I could see being mad about it. But it's a different kind of thing, the anti-Semitism. These people are just on some whole weird, trippy stuff, man. And it blows my mind.
Well, I mean, it's been around forever, and I don't think it's going to go away because there's always going to be somebody somewhere who sees that as the cause to all their problems. Just because, you know? I mean...
Yeah, and that's another thing. We're not going to get into this right now, I hope, but I just don't see how, I don't see how someone saying BDS, that's anti-Semitic. Somebody saying these Jews are ruling the world and running everything and keeping people down, and that's just like whatever. It seems like one's totally legitimate. Like, I don't want to see Palestinians suffer. I don't want to see anybody suffer. And right now, Israelis are being the oppressors because they're not even really supposed to be there. That's not their land. As opposed to the Jewish people. You know what I mean? There's Jewish people that don't agree with what's going on over there. So you can't just, so you can't just, and they get arrested protesting this a lot. And even worse sometimes. So you can't just say that, but it's just like the United States, just like whatever. But yeah, I just get sick of people saying it's anti-Semitic to say that. No. Talking about oppressors is never anti-Semitic or anything else. If people are oppressing people, you want it to stop.
The only thing I will say on that is there's a big difference between being anti-Semitic and anti-Zionist. That's all I'll say there.
Or yeah, anti-fascist, same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Well,
yeah,
we didn't scare off Celeb Scolder.
Yar. Should I type yar now because everybody else did?
I don't know.
I think I should do that. YAAR. There you go. Now we're all even. I feel like I'm part of something now.
We're the Q Pirates. Yar.
Yeah, what was I going to do? You want to do the sponsors right now?
Yeah, okay.
I'm tired. I've been working since like super early. Before like 4 this morning, I was doing stuff. So I'm just out of it the last few weeks. We missed last week because I couldn't even get home in time to do the show. So yeah, let me get this cool groovy music up.
For DMCA?
No, for the sponsors.
Yeah, I know, but you'll get a DMCA, won't you?
Oh, yeah. I don't care. There we go. Go ahead, Glenn.
Today's show is sponsored by Kosher Kush.
You said Kosher Kush?
Yep.
I've had that. That's bomb. Yeah, I'm doing the indica sativa mix thing now, so I'm still with the Harambe, but I'm mixing it with the Blue Dream.
All right.
And I've been throwing some hash on it too. I got some lemon something hash that was really awesome. So wow.
Well played.
Yeah. It's nice. It's a nice blend.
Well played.
Okay, let's kill the music. Or should I just let it play since we're already getting infringed upon?
Yeah, whatever.
Although, oddly enough, anyone who's on YouTube probably knows this. They're updating their terms of service yet again. And you know what this update does?
What?
We can just throw ads up on your stuff. We don't even care if you're copyright infringing or not. We don't care if you're monetized. We don't care about whatever. We can just throw ads on your stuff. How greedy are these people?
Very.
I mean, they're owned by Google. It's not like there's some small company that's like, we need the ads to keep you having some free service. It's like they sell our information all the time. They sell everything about us. They got money. We don't need ads on our channel if we don't want them. That should just be the way it is. You know, some people are making them millions of dollars. Let them pay for our ads. Capitalist swine.
And that's the other thing that some people have been paying attention to already as the process gets closer. The amount of people from Silicon Valley that are going to be very high up in the Biden administration.
Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of terrible people. What they call the swamp never goes away. Doesn't matter who's in office. Republican, Democrat, smiling person, angry person. They all have a swamp. They're all connected, man.
Yep. And I think about the other, I'm not sure if it happened 2 weeks ago or less than that, because I don't remember us mentioning much of anything about what happened with Greenwald and The Intercept. Did we?
Did it happen the week we were off, or did it happen before? It happened a
I
couple
don't
weeks
know.
ago, I think.
Did we just not bother? Because that's valid. You know, I can't remember. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes we just don't feel Glenn Greenwald is worth our time.
Yeah, that seems to be the general feeling.
For anyone,
yeah.
what happened? He separated. He got fired by them, right? Or he quit, or something happened.
Well,
That's how much I care. I saw something about it, and I was like, and he made a post about it, right? Or wrote an article because they wouldn't publish something.
well, they asked him to take something out, and it was about an article about the Hunter Biden computer shit, and he refused to, and he quit. And you know, he went on to this big diatribe about how when he first founded The Intercept, and that was the whole point, and write what you feel, and he was an editor there when it started, but he always felt that he had the understanding that he wasn't edited. He could just post his fucking work, and that was that. So, you know, he wasn't going to stand for that. So away he went, and now he's, you know, I think he's over on Substack. So I imagine he's probably, you know, like the Howard Stern, a fucking Substack for Howard Stern on Sirius. You know, he's probably carrying the whole fucking platform right now. But, you know, Greenwald should be fine with that. He appreciates being worshipped. But I sure find that all that Hunter Biden bullshit sure collapsed in a hurry. And I thought it was very strange that somebody like the New York Post would have second thoughts. So I figured, wow, if the Post won't run it, how bad is it? And now I see today that the so-called the computer repairman who found this fucking laptop given to him by aliens, his shop is closed, and he moved out of state. So, you know, like, yeah, this is all definitely on the up and up for sure. So, you know, it just seems rather hilarious that that's what Greenwald would pick pick that hill to die on at The Intercept.
Well, he does love fascism, and he
Very
probably
strange.
said, "I'm going to go for the hardline fascism. I'm going to promote it."
Very strange.
Greenwald's
But-
garbage, dude. You can quote me
Well,
on that.
I know. I'm not a fan of him either. But, you know, over the years, he wasn't always the same person. He did do some good work. I mean, there's a lot of journalists that do some good work for a couple years and then they turn into somebody else and it changes everything. You know, they get their first big book deal or they get a fucking regular TV spot and they're never the same after that because they're exposed to a whole new drug. And it's called talk and smile and get paid.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, whatever. But yeah, but I mean, I actually have more fun watching the famous American journalists snipe each other on Twitter than whatever content they have. That's more fun to watch. That's popcorn.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Damn sirens. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Greenwald is just a piece of crap. And yeah, you're right. He's done some cool stuff in the past, but he's just too fascist. He just went off the deep end, way off the deep end. And it was a while ago when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was like what, 2 years ago when he started really getting like obvious about it.
Yep. I think sometimes the issue with journalists who become celebrities, I think sometimes they get pissed off if they think a big avenue of future material that's going to make them money gets discounted too much in the marketplace. You know what I mean? Like Trumpism after this is done. That's not enough. You can't just say Trump and get airtime or column space. That's not good enough anymore. That's done. And if there was more honest journalism and well-financed journalism that allowed people to investigate and verify and shit like that, I think it would be, you know, you're going to find garbage under every team mattress, but I think there'd be a hell of a lot more under one team than the other. And I think that's why people like Greenwald go off on this rant, change their direction visibly, and start to defend something that they never would have before, because it's a whole piece of how they make money and they don't want it to get ridiculed to death. So somebody of stature defends them. You know what I mean? It's
a payoff.
It's a business tactic. It's a business tactic.
In the end, it's a payoff, just like he's a rapper. Hello, Olive. We just stormed in here. Did you hear about the Trump paying, what was it, $50,000 to $150,000 for rappers? Like 50 cents he offered the money to, and he was pretty much implying that Lil Wayne took it. You know, all the rappers that are promoting Trump, they all supposedly got paid to do that. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, I don't know.
It's the same thing as what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're all sellouts. Whether it's Greenwald or Lil Wayne or Ice Cube or whoever.
Yeah, the money's green, motherfucker.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I guess, you know, that is the plain way to look at it. It's like, fuck, cracker gonna give me cash? Fuck that. Let's go.
Yeah, but what are you promoting? That matters to some people, I would think. Unless you're just a straight up mercenary. And these people don't need money. They're already rich.
Yeah, but more money. Free money. Take selfie with Cracker Boy. Where's my money?
Like, I don't know if you know, dude, but the more rich and more famous a person is, the more free stuff they get. Everyone gives them everything.
Yeah. And that they think that's how it is now. Always. It's just like cops don't pay for fucking coffee. Like, fuck off. You make 6 digits, motherfucker. I want a tip, too.
This is why people do things to their coffee. They pay.
I guess. Yeah. Okay.
One way or another, they pay.
Yeah, it's a whole nother show, I think.
Yeah, I just hope one of them hears it and they can think twice. Like, oh, no. I'll bring a thermos from home.
So is there any real noise on the streets yet about, okay, the election's over, where the fuck is a stimulus package?
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do? McConnell just took off until after the holidays, right? Senate's on a break, holiday break. Am I wrong? I thought that's what happened.
Yeah, that is what happened, but
So that's
there's
basically
no reaction.
saying sometime after the holidays, y'all get a couple crumbs, maybe not. After the holidays, it's up to somebody else.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know why this country isn't burning. I don't know why everything ain't on fire right now. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually hear people more upset about small businesses. Oh, small businesses are all going to go out of business. What are we going to do? There's going to be no more small businesses. These small business owners can't take it. It's destroying their life. You know, there's people that can't pay rent, right? But small businesses.
Yeah.
Everyone's worried about small businesses. Nobody's worried about people that can't pay rent. Nobody's like, oh, people are going to be homeless. People are going to be starving. People ain't going to have nothing. It's like the small businesses. What are we going to do if there's no small businesses? Worry about people before businesses.
Well, that's asking a lot in the United States. And here, too.
I mean, the big corporations already got their welfare. They already got their socialism off our tax dollars. They're doing fine. They actually made profits. People became the world's first trillionaires over this. While other people
Just
are
wait.
suffering and starving and sick and can't get medical. They're becoming trillionaires. Money they'll never even spend in generations.
Just wait until a year from now, and we'll be able to look at all the corporate earnings from early 2020 to the summer of 2021. And we're going to see nothing but record profits for a whole shitload of industries.
Yeah, I mean, look at the people of California voted against workers and for billion-dollar corporations like Lyft and Uber.
Yep.
That's insane. And
Yeah.
I'd be scared of anybody trying to get in the cars, because you should be, if you're an Uber or Lyft driver, you should be side-eyeing everybody. Like, how'd you vote? You might just end up somewhere far, far away, left in the, on the desert, while I drive away and wave. Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. You're gonna get in these people's car and smile and maybe tip them, but you're not gonna just do a vote in their favor. You're gonna vote for the corporation that's oppressing them. Once again, people always back these oppressors.
Yeah.
Garbage.
I saw a couple people say that this in a nutshell is California. Vote some other initiatives that are good, that are cool, and then they turn around and vote that down. So this is California.
They don't care. It don't affect them. They don't care. It's just like, why would you ever vote in favor of billionaires and millionaires and giant corporations over people? It just doesn't make sense to me. I guess that's
No.
it was one of the biggest campaigns in the election, the money that these companies put into it. So maybe they just deceived people. I don't know.
Well, they got their money's worth then. Whoever
I mean, it really doesn't
PR,
matter. Really doesn't matter if these cats would just unionize. A union is people. You don't need an actual, the workers are united and they say nobody's driving for you and you got very few drivers, you can't fulfill anything because they're striking. What are you going to do then? Yeah. They just know it's hard to get people united like this, man, because everyone kind of works for themselves. They're in their car. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. But I mean, this is...
But we have social media. You could be like all Lyft and Uber workers, in this area meet here, in this area meet here. We're trying to unionize. I don't know. They can do it. It's just going to take work, and I don't know how to do it. I'm not, If I did, I would help them out.
Well, I think they're up against a very strong machine with no limit on resources. Or, look at what Home Depot...
if you guys are going to strike, we'll just hire some people that will be scabs and you'll never even be able to see them because they don't got to cross a line. They just got to download an app.
Well, it's not just that. Look at how Home Depot and Amazon... what's happening now in some of the corporations in the United States is the same thing that has been happening in South America and Central America and Africa for fucking decades, with corporations from the US and mining corporations from Canada having mercenaries killing people who are trying to organize the workforces there. And they just grease the crooked government and it's no problem. Well, this is the other thing. It's going to be really hard for Uber or Lyft in California to organize without there being some serious price to pay for some people, Because, face it. If I know for a fact, if you're at any Home Depot, anywhere in the world, they've got Stasi all over the place. You talk about anything to do with a union, you're gonna find out that they know. Just you can't say that word. It's just verboten. And
that's why customers should go in.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Like, why don't y'all unionize? Why don't y'all unionize?
But imagine how shitty it is for those drivers, where the people, when it's on a fucking ballot, that's one way that it could legitimately move forward, and the people vote it down. Like, how disappointing.
Exactly. Y'all need to pick the right side. I don't know what people be thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. But
shit
hey.
like that is why we got Biden or Trump.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right. Frosted Flakes or Corn Flakes? I think the Lyft Uber drivers got kibble.
They got kibble. Wow. Yeah, it's. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are the people going to get out of this? I think one of the arguments is, if we have to pay people something decent where they can live, then we'll have to charge you so much more. But that's not the case. Just cut your executive salaries and bonuses and you'll be all right. Maybe you don't even need all those executives. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, I've never understood how something like Lyft or Uber has like an actual market cap. It's like, what is there to this multi-billion-dollar corporation exactly? You got a phone system, you got a dispatch system. It's all digital, so you've bought some bandwidth and some servers somewhere, and you got billing servers and payment processing. So what exactly makes this corporation worth so much? It's because of all the people that they're allowed to abuse that do the actual fucking functions, the physical transportation. You know, if they had a way to have nothing but automated cars, they'd be doing it today.
Nobody be working, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, that's the whole goal here, in case anybody hasn't really figured it out yet. Way for you to use your phone to pay to get from point A to point B. And they want it automated. It'll happen. And I would say a place like probably San Francisco would be the first place you're going to see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's only a matter of time. So with this initiative being defeated, if I was Lyft or Uber, it's like, okay, things are on track. People are on our side. Keep going.
You know what sucks? They'll probably give them their own lane too, or some crap like that.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I mean, they bend over backwards. They got these whole bike racks for these people to take up all this space. Someone can't live in a tent, but they could take up a whole sidewalk filled with bike racks and scooters, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff everywhere. It's just garbage, corporate garbage all over the streets. And I'm glad people know how to hack these things and keep them and take them and use them for free because wait till the cars come. We'll figure that out too. Maybe a whole bunch of people will be able to sleep in the cars and drive the cars and do whatever they need to do. Get their lives a little better for free.
And then that'll only bring on, we have to hire more cops for all the fucking automated vehicle thefts.
Well, then they should hire automated vehicle cops.
Well, I bet you in a lot of cases, if they could, they would.
Yeah, be more brutal too. We've talked about that on a previous show, so if you want to hear it, just hit the playlist and listen to them all until you hear it.
That sounds efficient.
That's how you do it. You might hear some other good stuff too in between. Like my monologue today was a whole bunch of this is why Glenn is usually here. It's pretty much that was it.
I think you're exaggerating a bit.
It's hard to talk to nobody, even though there's somebody there. Like they don't respond. I mean, I guess in the chat people can respond, but like, you know, some people are really good at talking to nobody. I'm not good at talking to nobody. And when I say nobody, I mean the audience that isn't physically in front of you.
That's okay. The Pope was listening.
Yeah, I think he left during the monologue to go get popcorn or something.
Papal popcorn.
He's like, oh, I'm out. I got to go refill my bucket. I'll come back. He had a squirt on the butter. He's got like one of those movie theater things, I think, right outside his door.
Well, he's the Pope.
Yeah, he could buy candy too, but he doesn't really buy it. They just give it to him, but it's in a case. That's how I envision it anyway.
This popcorn machine's probably made out of fucking gold. Like Trump's got one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it's just the little two-wheel popcorn thing, and it weighs 800 pounds.
Like, do you think it feels really good to have gold appliances and gold window seals or whatever? I mean, I don't know. Does it do anything better? Like, I mean, I guess it could conduct electricity, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I just don't
understand what the... Like if my whole house was made out of gold, would it be, would it do something beneficial for me other than blind me in the light?
Well, I don't know. I just think, you can look around at everything that's gold and then look at the person who made it that way, and you can still say, well, you still have a small dick.
Yeah. That's one thing the
can't
Pope
really-
and Trump have in common, I hear.
Because I really can't see any other reason to do that. Like, what exactly are you so embarrassed about? Did you have to use all this precious metal for some sort of grandiose, tacky statement? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Have you seen those pictures of his house in New York or wherever that is, that tower? It's so gaudy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, if
But,
I was him, I'd be embarrassed of my foreigner, barely speaking English wife. That would be what I'm embarrassed about, because that's not American in any way, shape, or form. I would have to get rid of that because, Trump loves America. And malaria is not America. Melania.
Bologna.
Whatever her name is. Bologna. There it is.
Yeah.
When I hear her and see her, I don't think America. I think foreigner. Go home. Isn't that the MAGA way? Did I get it right?
Yep.
Yeah. Go home, foreigner. Go back to where you came from. Hee haw.
Yeah, so much for Bologna. So I imagine. So are they just going to do fuck all at the White House now for Christmas, or what? Just like
No,
nothing.
they got the tree in today.
Oh, really?
You didn't see the whole thing about I effing hate Christmas and now I gotta effing do this again, and then it was a picture of her smiling with the tree, but then playing the video. Audio from that phone call.
Yeah, I didn't expand any of that crap because it's Bologna.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't really care. So whatever, but just TikTok, honey, TikTok. Oh, and it appears that corporate America has given its 2 thumbs up to Biden being officially elected, with the Dow hitting 30,000.
Yeah. I mean, did you think it wouldn't?
Yeah, I know, but it's just such a horseshit indicator.
There's some really giddy defense contractors out there right now, I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got the people online talking about Biden Harris is going to be so great. And now we've gone full circle in this show again now. We do this like every week. And we don't even plan it like that.
Nope.
We just come back full circle. That's when we know we have nothing else to say, barely.
Yes, it could be an indicator. That's right.
Yeah, evidently I'm on my way to Canada. I'm in the car right now, heading to the border.
Yeah, that's another issue that came up here in the last week. There was the CBC asked the Canada Border Services Agency, which is like our CBP. They asked him to compile the border crossings since March. And they got numbers, I think, until the first week in November. And they didn't know for sure, but they could estimate that there were 5.5 million border crossings between the Canada and U.S. ground crossings.
Dude,
in this whole COVID period.
It's the caravan. It's the caravan from the south. Y'all need to be careful. It's filled with some very fine people and some rapists and murderers too, I think. And when I say very fine people, I mean Nazis.
Because, you know, this is something that's always in the background in the news in Canada about how bad COVID is in the States. And, you know, it's just like that map where the red stops at the 49th parallel for the COVID map, for the global thing. And, you know, so, I mean, we're like, yeah, keep that fucking border closed. No problem. And, you know, there's so much trade that goes across the border. Every day, we're both each other's biggest trading partner. But 5.5 million crossings in 7 months or 8 months. And they say that over 4.5 million of them were trucks, commercial traffic. And it's
really?
same guys. Yeah, and it's the same guys going back and forth and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's fine. There's, you know, there's records of them coming, leaving the States, coming to Canada, leaving Canada, going to the States. They get the quick test every, you know, second trip or whatever, depends how many days. But I was wondering, okay, so they come into Canada, they have to go drop off somewhere. Do they sit in their truck the whole fucking time? They don't get out. They don't go into a lunchroom. They don't go into a diner. They don't have to get out and fuel up their truck. And then they cross the border and do the same thing again in the States. Yeah. Like, I think there should be a little better control on this. And then somebody fucking came at me and said, well, Windsor, Ontario is across the river from Detroit. She said there's 2,500 people from Windsor that work every day in Detroit, just in the healthcare system in Detroit. So they all have a special ID and they have to test once a week or whatever on the Detroit side. And, you know, there's all these controls in place. And still, it's like, but this is still a risk, you know? Like, this isn't, anytime you do this, it's still accepting a risk. It doesn't matter how good your standards are and what your protocol is. If nobody was crossing the fucking border, you wouldn't have any of that risk. So, you know, there's a lot more shit going on across the border than anybody really wants to talk about, because they don't want people getting all fucking wound up about it. But if something happens, if there's an outbreak, then it's the same thing, right? It's just like kids in junior high, kids in middle school. Okay, nobody say anything. And then once somebody gets caught and they spill, that's it. The whole fucking thing comes down. Yeah. And that's what I think, you know, it's just like in the States with the breakouts at the poultry plants. They kept the lid on that for the longest time, and then boom, it just blew off.
A lot of people died, that's why.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, they just tried to keep it quiet. We don't want to say that we're shutting down for 2 weeks or anything. Don't want to scare anybody. Oh shit, people are dying? Fuck, too late.
Yeah, it's about the investors, not the people that work for you, right?
Mm-hmm. So, you know, I wasn't too happy to hear that. I don't want to get a pat on the head and say, now, we're looking after it. No, fuck off. Why didn't we know about it if it's so safe? What are you afraid of?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you tell us?
Keep those dirty Americans out.
Well, no, it's not just that. I mean, it's people going back and forth. And there are Canadians that do it, and there are Americans that do it. So, you know, I mean, if shit is coming from Seattle, coming through to Vancouver, or, you know, shit to Detroit, Windsor, or coming through
any big city.
Coming through in Buffalo or wherever, there's a lot of traffic. So, you know, never mind the shit going across the Great Lakes, too.
Yep.
There's just a lot of fucking things out there that are moving and changing all the time that, we're all kind of hoping that there's no breakdowns in the system.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least you have a better chance than we do right now. We'll probably have Nah, we're behind already. This is like the most deaths, the most of any country reported. Most cases. Because like Trump, what is Trump going to do for the next month and a half or 2 months or however long he's here?
Nothing.
He's going to play golf. He's going to probably stay away from the press as much as possible. And when he's there, he's going to just BS and say, I won, I was cheated, it's not fair. Life isn't fair to those of us born with billions and millions of dollars or whatever.
I think if he does have press conferences from now on, he's just going to completely ignore the press. He's not going to take any questions.
He's going to give some dumb speech and walk off.
Yeah, he'll just say whatever he's got to say, and that's it. This will be back to. He'll be like Spicy was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll send what's her name out there, his press secretary, to just BS the people. Because Conway quit, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think Kellyanne Conway quit. Well, I mean, their family, I think, they did this whole, we're going to fight each other thing, and then their daughter did all these little videos, and now she's going to be a contestant on some reality show. It's all entertainment, whether it's in politics or entertainment. It's just the politic part hurts other people more.
Yeah.
When you're playing, acting roles and doing stupid things. That's all last 4 years is a big, giant, stupid reality show.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, this is one of those moments, when the politics of the United States is an entertainment program. You got a problem.
Yeah.
But, you're not alone. You're just the biggest market.
Yep. So, just, I know we got to wrap it soon, but last question. So, do you think Hunter Biden is going to be one of Biden's advisors?
No.
No?
No.
See? You got to bring your family in from now on. We learned this with the Trump thing. Your advisors should be related to you. Hey, how come nobody ever plays those old tapes where Trump said he's not going to have his whole family in office? He's not going to hire his whole family. And no one ever plays any of that stuff. It's just crazy. Biden's lying. He's been lying since he opened his mouth for the whole election and campaign and all that. But these people won't hold him to anything.
Well,
campaign promises are always lies.
But don't forget, there was absolutely nobody who was speaking against Trump the first 2 years. It's just when he refused to listen to too many people. And, I mean, a lot of those people, like in the Senate, and the other thing that nobody really talks about is there are a lot of people that are on staff for either Senate committees or are in a pool for a party in the Senate. They get assigned to a senator and work for them for a few years and move around and shit. Some of these people know more about the entire picture than a lot of the people that they serve, because it's just like what the kitchen staff knows. You know what I mean? And when those people started to float balloons and people would just start to say things out loud, then that's when people started turning against him, because it wasn't working out that great for them back home anymore. Trump was getting too stupid, too idiotic, and now, hey, wait a minute. Now you're putting my job in jeopardy because you're being a shithead. And then that's when things started to change. And that's the thing with somebody like Biden. All the Democratic governors, all the Democratic senators, they don't have to worry about getting fucking torpedoed by their own leader if they say something that he didn't like, you know. They know they're going to get a phone call or, you know, something will happen. They're not just going to get sniped in public.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's just nature of the beast. That's the way Trump said he was going to play. That's the way he played. In the end, that's what cost him. He couldn't be trusted. And when that crowd can't trust you, wow. Sad.
Sad. So is there anything else that we missed?
I don't think so.
Me neither. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see the people again next week. I give them another monologue. And, and yeah, thank you, Glenn, and thank everybody who listened. Celeb Scolder and the Pope. And we'll catch y'all later.